Goodness gracious. Oh. Oh my God. I'm so sorry if you've been getting a million notifications that Yogi Theosophy is live. We have tried to go live. And then the postman came. And then I tried to go live and the phone rang. And then the cats came. So anyway, I apologize for that. This is a trial run, and it was going to be while America is asleep. But I don't know if we're going to make our deadline. We're going to try to do a live shot here on YouTube. And I can't see it come up on my screen, and I can't see any comments on that screen either. So if you are here and you're able to watch in live time, just drop a little thing and let me know that you're there. That would be helpful, because I don't know what I'm doing. But I have done live television, and I have done live radio for years. But I haven't done live YouTube on where, it's live all over the world. So that's great. Welcome, everybody. Welcome. And thank you for putting up. If you've seen the other ones, I actually said a little expletive when the phone rang. So sorry if you had to hear that. Sorry. Anyway, I wanted to come on. I've got my cup of tea, and I've got you, and that's all that really matters. Hang on. Since we are live, I guess I've just got to deal with, there are sirens that go by, and there's other things that I normally, the editor in me would want to edit what I just did out. I want to edit that out, but this is live. So why am I coming on today? To give you a little bit of background on my journey, not me as an individual, because that part's not important. But the teachings that I talk about on this channel have changed my life exponentially in such magnificent ways that I thought I didn't know what else to do other than just voice them. So I voiced them, and a lot of them have brought you, a lot of you are here because of those books, which the first one that I voiced was chapter by chapter, the 14 lessons in Yogi philosophy and Oriental occultism. And that book is right here. Okay. This is what started it all. Actually, sorry. The 14 lessons is right here. This is the predecessor to this book, which started it all. Okay. In the year 2003, 2004, I was at the Bodhi Tree in Santa Monica, California, which is a metaphysical bookstore, which is now closed down. It's fantastically well known for just being the coolest bookstore ever. It's a shame that it's gone, but it's still, I think it's going to be resurrected online. But anyway, I was there and I grabbed a couple books. I'm not really sure I didn't know what this title meant. I didn't know who Yogi Ramacharaka was. There is no Yogi Ramacharaka, by the way. That is a pen name by a man named William Walker Atkinson, one of many pen names that he has used, along with Hermes Trismegistus and others, Magus Incognito and many others. Anyway, so I picked this book up, and I put it on the bookshelf, as you do, for years. And finally, in 2008, around that time, I met my husband-to-be, who's British and amazing and my very best friend. And I lived in California, and my heartbeat, my son, Alex, whoops, I wasn't going to give any personal details. Alex, I did it again, is 8 at the time of this marriage and move. And he came over for a year. He was here for a year after we got settled, and he loved it, and he was doing very well. And he would go back and see his father. That's a pretty big thing. I mean, if you're Led Zeppelin and you're flying back and forth, that's one thing. But a little guy, it was tough on him, very tough on him. And it was realizing that in this custody battle, that was a surprising custody battle. There's a point to this. I was surprised at how heated it was. And I then realized in custody battles, no one really wins. You don't win a custody battle. The winning is if you can give your child peaceful parents. And that's what they want, because there are 2 of you, and they will always need 2 of you, and you mated with that person. Okay? So there's 2 parents. So in order to give Alex peaceful parents, one of us had to let go. So I did that out of love for my son, because I believe that giving him peaceful parents and compassion, showing compassion, is far more important. I didn't at the time. I was seeing that it was destroying him. He was literally being pulled apart. So I let go. And it was at this crucial point of pain in my personal life, and other people were hurting as well. It was a very difficult time for all of us. But it has actually become an important part of growth, because wisdom and pain, they go hand in hand. Pain will allow wisdom if you allow it to. It's true. So it was during this particular time of pain. And the reason I mention this so many times is because it's important to pay attention to that, I think, because that crack in my exterior and interior is what allowed me to pay attention to what was going on inside this book. So I opened the book and I started to read it. It was amazing. And I actually thought, well, I've got nothing to lose. I'll go ahead and apply these things. So I started to apply them, and my life began to change. And my life began to change in such amazing ways. I thought, this is a really, what is this? What is Advanced Course in Yogi Philosophy and Orient? Who's Yogi Ramacharaka? Well, again, it is a pen name by a man named William Walker Atkinson, who wrote these down. He's not the originator. He's not the progenitor. He did not create these. These are the ancient teachings. And this is kind of an elementary, this is just my opinion. Please don't think I know everything. I don't know anything. As a matter of fact, the more I study, the less I realize I actually know. And even if I study for lifetimes upon lifetimes on all dimensions, I don't think I'd be able to understand all this stuff. There's no way. But anyway, these teachings here in the 14 lessons and advanced course point towards this book. This book is called Light on the Path. It was written by a gal named, is my battery going? Heard a beep. Anyway, it was written by a gal named Mabel Collins. She had written for several magazines. She was an animal activist. She was an amazing writer, but she also wrote these down. There's a big difference between creating it and writing it down. She wrote them down. She was the scribe for these teachings. And this is called a Theosophical Classic. So I went, Theosophical? What's that? So I went online, 2012 nowadays. I'm going online, looking. I go, oh, Theosophy. What is that? How come I've never heard about that? How is it that I've never heard of the word Theosophy? I hadn't. And I was, in my mid-40s? I never heard of that. If you're looking, oh my God, stop. Okay. Oh, are we live? I think I'm live and I'm seeing us live. It's weird. Surreal. Sorry. Okay. Anyway, Theosophy, like philosophy, the love of wisdom, theos, God, gods, the wisdom of God. These teachings of Theosophy don't just go back to Helena P. Blavatsky. Whoops. HPB. They go back further, but the writings that HPB wrote down, the teachings in the Secret Doctrine, in the 2 volumes Isis Unveiled, and all the other writings that came through HPB are some of the most important writings of the last 2,000 years. It's true. So anyway, in 2012, yes, I began to look up the Theosophical Society. So I was like, there's a society? Who are these people? So I called them up, and they then offered a course in Theosophy, and I took that. It was a year-long course, and I couldn't learn enough. I was hungry. I was insatiable. I wanted to know more. I was extremely excited to find out that the teachings in these books were also in Theosophy and then some. There was so much more. You can see it in the writings of, in the Timaeus of Plato. You can study, I mentioned Pythagoras a lot, Pythagorean things, Paracelsus. These teachers and writers and philosophers and sages and prophets, and you can see the similarities in all of the world's religions. You see this stuff coming up as the originators. You can see this in most of the teachings here on the planet. So I began to study, and I began to think, oh, I got to do something. So I started to voice these books and put them up online so they could be off of the dusty shelves and available for you, available for anybody who could come across them like I did. And perhaps they might change your life like they did for me. And they are doing for me. Now remember, it is through the application of what we are studying, not in the study itself. I can memorize these books, good for me. That doesn't make any difference. It's through the application of this compassion and this unity and this beautiful brotherhood of not some kind of a weird lodge where you have to be an elitist to join. No, It's far from that. I believe in the digital world, we should be able to bring these teachings out, and anybody who wants to apply them can apply them. You have the entire world at your fingertips. You can go to any library and get PDFs of these, okay? You can listen to them online. You can access them however you wish. You have the ability to do so. And so I thought it would be extremely irresponsible of me not to do something that brought these teachings forward. So with the career that I had, which is now dead because Spotify and Pandora and Sirius and XM and all those guys, YouTube, you don't need radio disc jockeys. So what am I going to do? What am I going to do? I've got a voice, I can talk, I can read, I can edit, and I'm going to go ahead and spend my time doing this because I believe it can actually help humanity. It can help if you apply these teachings. If people around you, you'll affect people around you. And by contagion, the world will improve, I believe. The consciousness will improve because it's a very loving information. It's like an instruction for humanity. So anyway, I wasn't going to talk this long, but I wanted to get one live feed off the bat, and I don't see you here. Hang on. Let me look. Let me reboot. We are not live on this, and I don't see any questions coming up on that. So if you do see this later on, you have any questions, drop me a line. I'll do my best to answer. Again, I'm a student of Theosophy. I believe that it is important to get the teachings out there. I also believe that organizations, whenever there's any hierarchy, can be corrupt, even if there's two of you. So the most important thing that I've decided to do is I did belong to, I was a member of the Theosophical Society. Nothing bad to say about them. I'm going to go ahead and step out and remain as an individual, because if I'm an individual, I can keep the corruption down to a minimum. And anything that does corrupts me only. And no one is going to be a victim. There is no adoration because it is just me. There is no subjugation because it is just me. There is no thievery or any of that stuff that goes on in the organized ones. I'm going to go ahead and it's just me. It's just me and the books and the teachings and you. And we can study together. And that's my wish, is to study together. And hopefully we can help to eliminate the unnecessary suffering of ourselves. And by doing that, we can help eliminate the unnecessary suffering of all on the planet. And there you go. Finally, no phone call, no postman, no cat. Thank you. Thank you for letting me be here today. I'll try the live feed again, and I'll see if there's any, pop-ups. Maybe we can interact somehow. We'll figure it out. But thank you very much. I love you very much. I'll see you again soon.